Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I have for you a 27 and 28 week pregnancy update. I had my 28 week appointment today, even though I am 27 weeks and 4 days. For some reason, they scheduled it a couple of days early before I turned 28 weeks. Nonetheless, I will be putting the 2 weeks together just because the following week from when I'm recording this video, I will be taking my glucose test and having other blood work done, even though I was under the pretest that it was all going to be done today. But without further ado, let's get started. As I mentioned earlier in the video, I am currently 27 weeks and 4 days. I turn a new week every Friday, so this upcoming Friday I will be 28 weeks. The baby is the size of a cauliflower right now, so it's about 14.5 inches long and weighing 2 pounds, which I can definitely feel it because it is causing a lot of breathing problems for me, especially when I'm laying down. It's really hard for me to breathe, and I don't know if you guys can hear me gasping for air every time I'm like speaking or letting out any new words, but you can definitely tell the baby is growing. Right now, as far as baby developments, according to the Baby Center app, the baby can now sense light. So anytime it feels light, whether it's on my stomach or anything like that, it will move. That's how you know that your baby can sense light, and it can open its eyelids now. So pretty interesting. As far as a weight, I am close to my pre-pregnancy weight right now. Currently, I'm weighing about 167 pounds. And when I went in today for my appointment, they said I should be gaining a pound per week, which in total should be another 10 to 11 pounds. So at the end of my pregnancy, I should be weighing anywhere from like 178 to 179 at the most. Symptoms, as previously mentioned, it is getting harder for me to breathe, but that is expected, you know, as you progress further along in your pregnancy, especially as I will be entering now, I think this upcoming Friday, into my 3rd trimester. It is just going to be harder and harder for me to breathe. And then just with it being super hot here down in Georgia, and we're now supposed to be wearing masks, it's going to be a lot harder. So like I said, a lot of the things that I used to do, like food shopping and stuff like that, will now have to be done electronically, or I will just have to send Miguel to go pick up stuff. But that shouldn't be an issue. I don't know if I mentioned this in the previous updates or not, but I definitely have colostrum. How do I know? I think it was like around 20 weeks is when I saw it come out first, and that was because out of nowhere, for some reason I decided to pinch my nipples. Don't question it. I did it for whatever reason, and then I saw the colostrum coming out. I was like, oh, so we're coming in a little early this time. So every now and again, I will leak a little bit of the colostrum out. Now, I don't know if I should be saving it or what have you, because it's not like a lot. It's a few droplets that coats the nipple. But I have seen, like Cami Carter, for instance, she pumped her colostrum just to induce her labor, and she saved the colostrum and just gave it to Grayson when she was born. So maybe I'll do that, but I'll first have to get like a little milk storage bag for it or something like that. As far as movements, definitely I can feel the baby moving constantly, especially at night. It really doesn't like me sleeping on the right side, so I mostly sleep on my left side or just facing up. Even to and from the appointment today, I could just feel him moving all over the place, and I even saw like my stomach on my left side kind of lift up. There has been a few instances where Riley has laid her head on my stomach, and he didn't like that. And the only way that I know that he didn't like that, or that he felt her weight on top of me and himself, is because he just like punched or kicked my stomach, and all I saw the first time was just her head move. So obviously, you know, he didn't like it. And of course it was him, because why else would Riley move her head up while she's watching, you know, Minnie Mouse or Elmo? So anytime that she does lay on top of me, he just kind of gives her like a little nudge, but she still lays on top of us. So definitely he is moving. Cravings, I've been eating sweet and chili chips from Doritos, having sunny side up eggs, carbs, a lot of water, definitely a lot of water. And for some reason this week I was craving cucumber, salt, and lime juice. I don't know, I think it's a Hispanic thing, but I was just craving it, and it's really, really good. Sometimes I'll even, if we have mangoes here, I will put salt, lime juice, and chili, like hot sauce on it. So good. Delicious. I'm actually want one right now, but we don't have any mangoes here, so I will probably have to send Miguel to get me some. As far as maternity clothes, this dress that I'm wearing right now is non-maternity. I think I showed this to you guys back in a Target haul video in March. This is a non-maternity dress, but it is very favorable for pregnancy just because it is kind of like a drop hem. I think that's how you say this dress of styles name. But like I said, it's really favorable. It's wide and it's actually long in the back. I know that when you buy non-maternity dresses, sometimes it tends to be shorter in the front and in the back just because of your belly growing and getting bigger. So this is a really good dress because, like I said, it covers your bum and then it's really long in the front as well. I've been wearing mainly just like the other couple pieces that I showed you guys in my earlier videos, like the pink dress from Motherhood Maternity, as well as Pink Blush Maternity, and maybe a couple of old dresses from when I was pregnant with Riley. I actually had to throw out one that I purchased with her when I was pregnant with her because it got stained with some white paint, and I was so upset about it because it was actually a really cute black and white tank dress and it got ruined, so I was pretty upset about that. Stretch marks, I don't know if I'm getting any new stretch marks or not. At least I haven't noticed any, just because the ones that I do have, they're really big, and that you know, stretch marks are not going to be big or small or whatever, but these are more white, and usually when they're that color, they're older stretch marks, as opposed to when they're newer, they're usually more of a red, purplish, even like a bluish color. So I haven't noticed any of those on my belly, maybe because I'm just slathering myself in oils and cocoa butter every single night and day. So maybe that's why I haven't seen anything, as well as hydrating myself. Or they might just start popping up like they did with Riley at like 30 something weeks, and who knows. So we'll see what happens. Best moment this week, I would say it was today, just because I heard the baby's heart rate, and it was funny because it sounded like really, really fast, and I was like, is that mine or is that the baby's? But the doctor did tell me it was the baby's, and I think she said it was like at 156, so it was pretty fast today. Mood, I'm still kind of upset, you know, as if you guys didn't watch my previous pregnancy update, I suggested you guys, you know, hit the iCard or the playlist down in the description bar. But in that video, I did mention that Miguel is not going to be in the labor and delivery, or most likely will not be there due to some training. So, you know, we're pretty upset about that. I did bring that up today at my appointment just to kind of make them aware of the situation, and also just address the fact that how can I go about getting a doula or a midwife, which they did tell me that I can have her or him, I don't know how it works, with me when I am labor and, you know, delivering the baby. But they did say like once that whole portion is done, I will be by myself with the baby, because that's when the midwife and doula leave. I'm only allowed to have one person as support in there. So she said if, you know, my husband does come back in time, or like the day that I'm giving birth, and I do get a doula or a midwife, I'll probably lose money. So I'm thinking, just because she said that TRICARE may not cover it all, or may not cover it in some entirety or whatever. I don't think I said that right, but anyways, so there may be some out-of-pocket expense, so we might lose money if that's the case. So it is something that I do have to consider and think really hard on, just because we may lose some money on that, just, you know, in case he does come back on time or early or what have you. So it's something, like I said, I do have to look into and see what TRICARE tells me and go from there. So now, the reason why I didn't have my glucose test and all the other lab work done today was because they said I couldn't get it done before 28 weeks. And I was just like, okay, but like the doctor said I can get it all done today, as well as pre-register in the hospital, get the Tdap shot, and, you know, get the lab works done. So I just didn't understand why the doctor would tell me that I could get it all done today and then go downstairs to get it done, and they tell me, oh no, you have to come back at a certain date next week and at a certain time to do the lab work, because right now it's locked. It won't let me do any changes on it. So I go back upstairs to the office, and that's when the front desk told me I couldn't get it done before 28 weeks. And in my mind, I'm like, but I'm only 3 days away before turning 28 weeks. I don't know how much of a difference that would make, you know, for me getting it right now and then just getting it in 3 days. Like, it doesn't make any sense. But I didn't argue with them. I just was like, okay, whatever, I'll come back next week. It's just that, you know, I was already there at the hospital, so I was there to have my appointment, supposedly get the glucose test done as well as the lab work, get the shot, and then pre-register. So it's like I was getting all of these things done all in one shot, plus Miguel was home already with Riley, so I didn't have to worry about getting babysitter or bringing her with me and her getting really antsy at the appointment. So now next week I have to most likely take her with me and just find some sort of entertainment for an hour, because that's how long the tests take, as well as getting the blood drawn and providing a urine sample. So wish me luck when it comes to that, because sometimes she could be pretty antsy and just want to walk around, and with everything that is going on, she can't really be doing that. I did get my Tdap shot today, and I did pre-register. It just means, like, you know, I don't have to worry about signing any consents or any, like, filling out any paperwork before, you know, actually I shouldn't say before, when I am going there in a labor. So once I have all the labor symptoms working and I know that I am in labor, I don't have to stop at the admission and discharge office. I can just go directly to the labor and delivering unit and just speak with them and do my thing without having to worry about signing all these consents and stuff like that. So that's pretty good. I will be taking you guys with me to get the glucose test and give you guys the results as well. So this is where I will be ending this portion of the video. Okay, so the glucose tolerance test did not go as expected. I went in yesterday morning at around, I believe, like 10 o'clock in the morning. Got my results at around 1 or 2, around the same time today. You'll find out why. And I didn't pass the first glucose test. I failed it. They didn't tell me by how much. They just said you need to take the 3-hour glucose test now because you didn't pass the first one. So needless to say, I was shocked, because with Riley, I passed it the first time. So to me, it wasn't even an issue. I was going in there yesterday thinking I'm gonna pass it, not a problem. So to get the news that I didn't pass it, it was very disappointing, and I was just started to worry. I was like, oh my God, what if I don't pass the 3-hour test one? Now I have to go back, and like, who's gonna take care of Riley when I go take a 3-hour test? Because she was already being antsy, waiting there for an hour. I couldn't imagine taking her today and being there for 3 hours. It would have been hectic and chaotic. So luckily Miguel was able to have off. Well, not off, but was able to go into work later, and I was able to go in and do the glucose test for 3 hours by myself. And these are my, I don't know if you guys can see it, but like my battle wounds, because between yesterday and today, I think I was pricked a total of like 5-7 times or something like that. I went in and they had to establish a baseline. So I went in around 7:30 this morning, super early, I know. Went in and they told me that they had to establish a baseline, and if everything was okay, I could go forward with taking the 3-hour glucose test. If they found something that was abnormal, then it would delay the entire thing. But luckily, everything was fine. They took the blood out, and as you can see, the phlebotomist sort of bruised me, but that's okay. And after 30 or 40 minutes or so, they came back and said everything is good. You can take the sugary drink, which is not that bad, you guys. It's just, again, just super sugary, but it's not really awful. Yesterday I had the lemon lime one, and then today I had the orange soda looking kind, which tastes like orange soda. So it's not that bad, you guys, I promise you, it really isn't. So I took it, waited an hour. I think I have a couple of clips that I will be showing you guys, but I waited an hour and it was just horrible because there was no Wi-Fi reception. It was really spotty, and just having to wait there was crazy. So after they drew the first round, I went back into the radiology department, waited there. I set up the alarm for like about 5 minutes before I actually hit an hour, just in case they were busy or whatever. They have to catch you by the hour or else the whole test is null and void. I went back in at 9:27 for the second round to have my blood drawn. So that was fun yet again. After they drew the second vial, I went back into the radiology department, waited there until it was, what, 10:47 or something like that. Then I went back in, had the second round of vial drawn for the glucose test. And instead of going back to the radiology department and wait there, I actually went upstairs to the OB clinic and decided to schedule my 32-week appointment in person instead of over the phone, because why not? I was already there. So I scheduled it, had that appointment all set up, ready to go, and that's when I'll be talking to the physician about my VBAC or possibility of having one, what's going to be my success rate, all of that good stuff. So definitely stay tuned for that video. And after that, I went back downstairs, waited a couple of more minutes before I finally had the third vial just taken, and I was just like, yes, I'm done. I'm free. Because honestly, I think I fasted maybe around 12 hours or so, because you can't eat before you have the test and during the test. So all I was having was water, and at that point, like, you get hungry after a while. And I just got the phone call with the results, and I passed, you guys. I passed. I was so nervous about not passing this 3-hour glucose test, because not passing could just change the entire, not that it could, it does change the entire remainder of your pregnancy. Whether you have to change your diet, which I'm still going to do because honestly, I don't want to be having any more complications like this, or, you know, just taking insulin because you have gestational diabetes. And I couldn't fathom myself, you know, having to prick my finger for the next 11 to 12 weeks, every single day before breakfast and after every meal. I'll be the first one to say it. I am chicken shit when it comes to that kind of stuff, even though, you know, I have piercings and a tattoo and I could give birth. But when it comes to like pricking my finger and stuff like that, like, I can't do it. I can't. So I just, like I said, I couldn't fathom myself having to do that. So I am so happy that I passed, that I don't have gestational diabetes, and that, you know, I just have to keep an eye on what I eat as far as when it comes to sugary drinks. But I am so happy and grateful that I passed this 3-hour glucose test, even though it was a pain in the butt to just go and do it. Lastly, I do want to mention a couple of things that I got from Amazon, and I caved in, you guys, on this trend. And for a while I was just like, no, I don't know if I want this hat. I think I might look dumb in it, but I caved and I bought this hat. I think it looks super adorable. I love it. It gives off some nice fall vibes, and I don't know about y'all, but like, I'm ready for fall. I know a lot of people are like, we just started summer, like, let's keep it. But no, I am a big fall season type of gal. I love it, and I can't wait until it's here and I can start decorating for fall. But this hat right here, I love it. It was, I believe, $14.99. There were other ones. I think Belinda Celine listed, or actually linked on her Instagram, a similar hat, but it was like $27. I was like, girl, I love the hat, but I don't want to pay almost $30 for it. So I found this one, which is pretty similar to it, for $14.99, and It's pretty cute, you guys. I think I look cute in it, so I love this. I also got this dress. Now, it so happened to be that this dress that I have here is, one, non-maternity, but two, it's actually the same dress that Belinda Celine has been wearing, and I'm just like, okay, that was like the definitive touch. I was like, if she's wearing that and it's not maternity and she's closer to 40 weeks, then I can definitely rock this. But it is this dress right here. It has some ruching right here and the sides, or on the sides I should say, and believe it or not, it is pretty thick, you guys. Like, the material, super thick. I already tried it on, and it's form-fitting. I thought it was going to be big on me, but it actually fits true to size. I did have to size up like one more. When I mean true to sizes, I mean it fits nicely and it hugs your body and your belly in all the right places. I did have to go a size up just because, if you guys can see the detail right here, kind of crisscrosses, and supposedly from like the reviews it tends to ride up, so they suggested to go a size up so that you don't have any mishaps. But I am really in love with this dress. It's really nice. I love it. It's the first time I actually get something that's clothing from Amazon. I've always been weary about that, but I really do love this. I think it was $26.99 if I am not mistaken. I will leave everything linked down below. But this is the end of the video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and that you I know it was a bit crazy with everything, you know, just failing the first glucose test and then having to take the 3-hour one, but I'm so happy that, you know, I passed it. We're both safe, baby and I, and there's no gestational diabetes to worry about. And now we can have like a much more calmer sort of, say, last couple of weeks before I go and give birth. I am already gathering and packing for my hospital bag as well as for baby, so stay tuned for that. And I've already started with the decoration and organization for this toddler nursery room, so also stay tuned for that. But before I continue on and rambling, I would like to thank you guys. Give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Please don't forget to subscribe, and as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.